This special episode of Boys is brought to you by Anthem Brewing Company. AnthemBrewing.com. I've got something to say. I licked my butthole today.
People back. Oh, shit. I said the wrong thing. What was it again? Oh. In the right order. No.
I imagine like a frail, elderly Robert Plant. But looking like a grandma.
Like he does now.
Pretty much, yeah. But like at a walker, some scoliosis perhaps, a little old granny, and a burnout. But the lyrics would be, I've been stoned and confused. Oh, I don't know, I was doing Cosby fingers. Just
like two Cosby fingers.
You gotta sell it, man.
You do.
Dude.
That's what being a frontman's all about.
I love trying to sound like something. Like, I love trying to do impressions, but I fucking suck at them. They're terrible.
Oh, today I listened to podcasts as per usual, and I went to this one. Started a podcast called About Last Night, and I wanted to listen to a new one and listen to an old one, like to go back and forth. And I found an old one. It was Dana Carvey, and I've heard a few with Dana Carvey on it recently. And the dude, he's an impression master, I guess.
Sure, self-proclaimed.
But man, does it gets old quick.
Yeah, have you seen his show? He had a show for like one season.
We had talked about that on another podcast. Okay. What was it called?
It was called First Impression.
First Impression.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, like, man, I think everyone's just doing Dana Carvey's impressions of things, or another person's impression of things.
I can totally see that.
Like everyone's Bill Cosby is not Bill Cosby.
Wait, that's Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton? What the fuck? I am stoned and confused.
I did not. Wait, that was Bill Clinton.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Bill Cosby.
Michelin Whiskey. Bill Cosby. No, that's.
I see what you mean, though.
That's Phil Hartman's Bill Clinton. That's
he was more like this, right?
Sure.
I don't know. That was terrible.
That was terrible.
But yeah, either way, I was doing my Cosby fingers.
Oh, they were great.
So yeah, this is a special episode of Boys.
It sure is.
We have no guest.
Fuck the guest today.
It's just me and you.
Because they don't exist.
They don't. Not today.
Just us.
We got off work early. We're here chilling at the studio, the old studio. The studio for now.
It can be sad to see her go.
I know. But that's okay. It's right here. It's right next to home.
That sopping wet couch.
All that.
Sorry. That was crass. I apologize.
It was. Yeah, so moving to a new place soon. It's great. Anyways, so we got together today to talk about a few things, and the impressions were that's what we do together. We just talk to each other in weird voices most of the time.
And sometimes they're not really celebrity impressions. They're just voices you make up, and it ends up just being a thing. Even from like childhood, like growing up, teenage years, like you'll have it just pop up out of the blue. And then you find out that it's a take on, like something may have ingrained in your brain. You heard it somewhere. Like someone said, hey, are you doing an impression of fucking Matlock? Like, no,
not
but
at
it
all.
Sounds like Matlock or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Totally. I have a story I want to start out with today. When we were going down or up to see Aaron in Lawrence, we stopped at like the Lawrence. What was it, like the Welcome Center?
The Lawrence.
Or was it Welcome, or was it?
It was the Kansas Welcome Center.
That's what it was.
On their turnpike there.
Yeah, right there on the turnpike. Anyways, we stopped, went to the bathroom, and dude, I've never been to a Welcome Center or a truck stop or whatever that was as busy as this bathroom.
That place was bumping.
It was bumping.
Crazy bumping.
It was just a place for dudes to shit. And I was one of those dudes. I joined the club, so to speak, and I'm sitting there taking a dump. And this is a big bathroom. It's like an airport bathroom.
Yeah.
Long bathroom.
A lot of stalls.
Yeah, I'd say 20 stalls. Lots of sinks, lots of room. I'm sitting there like doing my business, checking my phone, the usual. And dude, there's just this fart symphony going on to my in true 360 degree stereo sound, because it was just like a row of dudes farting and shitting, like loudly shitting. And I'm not a loud shitter.
I don't understand it. When I hear people talk about that, I'm like, there's no way. Who does that?
Like, I mean, I'll let one out every now and then, as you do. but I don't sit there and like grunt and like fart constantly and like in this spattering snare drum sort of way that's just unmistakable.
In public, no less. Like, I guess I could see being home alone and doing it.
Yeah.
But you're in and it was like, what, 2 p.m?
Yeah, I'd say about 2:00.
So you're getting that midday dump.
That had breakfast, had some coffee, probably held it in for a while. That's the
Oh,
other
yeah,
thing
it's
about
first
this
thought,
place.
yeah.
Like this isn't a place where dudes just like casually shit. Like if they're going to sit down at the Kansas Travel Welcome Center, whatever it's called, they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
So they're really pushing out.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things like you're on the road. We've driven long distances. We've all driven long distance before. You're on the highway, and then you see that you get that bubble gut feeling, like, oh, okay, I gotta gotta pull over.
Does yours come in waves?
Yes,
Like, will you get it real bad, and then you'll be like, oh, I think I'll be okay. And then it goes away completely.
Yeah, then it kicks you back in the dick.
Yeah, like 30 minutes later.
Like, oh, but then it's like, nope, there's no waiting. You got to go. And you keep seeing signs like next restroom 33 miles or 23 miles, like, fuck. And this was one of those things like, it's not a gas station. It is an information center. We're going there.
And a shithole.
And
Literally a shithole, a hole in the ground where men were just pushing out.
Just like a 6-foot diameter, just dudes just sitting around it and just shitting into this hole.
Yeah, looking away, not looking into.
Looking away from each other, just shitting into a hole.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea. So I thought I had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this, and what was funny about this fart symphony is it was seriously like every few milliseconds a new fart was emerging, and it started to sound rhythmic. And I thought, yeah, it was like, well, I don't even want to do it. That was a bad impression of a fart. See, but I thought about this. I was like, what if you, as a courtesy, at a public bathroom, at a restaurant, at a person's house, library, whatever, a guitar center, but they invented, like, right next to the toilet paper, there was a built-in drum machine that you could just start, and like it would be very simple, just a couple of knobs. You could like mix in the volume of the snare, maybe a tempo knob, volume knob.
Sure.
That you could play loudly to cover up your farts, because farts kind of sound like drums if you think about it.
A snare drum.
Yeah. So I whipped out my phone. I was like, oh, I got to talk about this on the podcast. And I put, let's see, Fart Symphony at Kansas Welcome Center.
I saw that, yeah.
Drum machine to cover shit farts.
Yeah, that second part is like, what the hell does that mean? But now it makes sense. For a second, I thought you were going to say what they should do is, and they probably have this in Japan, they got crazy toilet stuff in Japan. Inside the toilet bowl itself has sensors, and if you fart into it, it adjusts the sound and makes a different sound.
So it's like noise canceling. It's a noise canceling, fart canceling toilet.
Either that or have fun with it and do like, a vocoder, like adjust it like Cher style.
That would be awesome. I'm just thinking like Daft Punk, but with turds, basically. Or like they could be a trigger where like,
yeah,
like let's say there were like 8 bathroom stalls. Well, that would be the 8 keys of the octave.
Oh yeah.
And you could tune one differently, so it would make kind of like a melody. A melody? It would make a melody.
It'd make a melody.
So weird. Oh, that's blowing my mind. Why has no one capitalized on that?
Dude, TM that shit right now.
Why not make shitting fun? No one has fun shitting at the Kansas Welcome Center.
No, it's necessity. That's all it is. It's work. It's in and out and you're done.
See that? We get together and I immediately just talk about shit for like 30 minutes straight.
It's cool.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, just 10 minutes of shit.
That's it. That's all the shit
no
talking.
No more, no less.
Yeah, no more shit talking tonight.
Well, that goes into another thing you have on here. We've been wanting to talk about. Now we could talk about it because you got the stuff and still waiting on one of them in the mail.
I know.
So you've been buying these little mini synthesizer things.
Yeah.
And you want to produce a badass Christmas album?
Dude, yeah. Okay, so let's just throw this out there.
Upon us.
It's coming quick, but let's throw this out there before I explain this. Like in this episode, we're basically catching up on the list.
Mm-hmm.
We need to think of a clever name.
For the list?
Yeah, like Greg Fitzsimmons, he has Sunday Papers where he sits down and reads the Sunday paper, as you introduced me to. And we need, clearing up the list. Cold coffee and a list, something about a list. There's got to be a list in there somewhere. Anyways.
We'll figure it out. It'll come to us.
Yeah, well, all in due time. But on that list, yeah, I've been having these thoughts. So, like, I like playing guitar and, producing little helping do some of the bumpers and stuff.
Right.
That's fun. But yeah, I've been getting into like kind of the rabbit hole I've been going down lately is buying these like miniature cheap synthesizers and drum machines, and everything I get, like I get a good deal on because we're a couple of flippers.
Sure.
Just something to play around with.
Right.
But I got to thinking, I was playing around with that synth actually right behind you the other day, and I started kind of doing like a little Christmas melody. And then I remembered Walmart boy loves Christmas. Like he loves it. So I was like, dude, what if I made like this? Not to get too nerdy or whatever. I'm trying to buy the van here.
Right.
But like, what if I made this like trippy, slow, chill Christmas album? Like I just did long versions of all the songs, and it would be like, in my brain, the perfect album would be an album you could put on at your Christmas party.
Yeah.
But it's like non-intrusive. It's faintly familiar. It's kind of psychedelic and slow and
so you're
plodding.
talking to classic Christmas songs.
All of them. Jingle Bells,
Carol of the Bells
Yeah.
would be a really good one just for some slow synthy.
Here's the beauty. There's so many Christmas songs.
There's tons.
I Googled it.
There's a lot.
There's like 40. And that's like 40 biggies.
Yeah.
So you could have this huge pool to pull from. I love Christmas. If you know me, you know I love Christmas.
I know you.
It's
I know you
it's
love
my
Christmas.
jam.
So what you do is you just take some time, either an afternoon when you get off of work, or a couple of days in a weekend, or a couple hours in a weekend. Maybe take a day and you knock out a song, or start a song.
Right.
And then the next weekend, maybe tighten up the bolts.
Yeah.
And then do another one.
Well, like I've been doing that a lot more on GarageBand and stuff. So like I'm getting the hang of it a lot better, and I think I could actually do it pretty efficiently because I have the ideas in my head. And once you sit down with like a synthesizer, for instance, like that one is so simple to use.
Right.
It's very, very basic. It's a micro brute, I think is what it's called. And it's just very simple synthesis. You learn the waveforms. And that to me is really the fun part. Same with the drum machines. It's like figuring out how they work. And then like, because I mean like a drum machine, for instance, like there's only so much you can do.
Sure.
You can make a cool beat. You can put some stutter on it. You can change the pitch and depth. But putting all that shit together and making something like cohesive. And I was like, what an easier... It's almost paint by number making this Christmas album.
Yeah.
You know the melodies already.
It's there. Yeah.
You're not writing it.
No, you're just adjusting it.
Yeah, you're just adjusting it.
You're adjusting. Is that the word I'm looking for? You're remixing it.
Yeah. And then I also thought to add to it, it would be called Christmas Adjustment by Robby Ray and the Little Bitty Boys. And the Little Bitty Boys are like the little synths.
Yeah.
They're like my boys. Kind of like a Adam and his package reference.
Sure.
But the Little Bitty Boys would also be like you, Colin, whoever else.
People who are going to play actual instruments.
Maybe come by and play some bass.
Sure.
Come by and shake a tambourine for all I care.
Yeah.
How about a sleigh bell?
Got to have an actual sleigh bell.
Yeah.
You can't use the keyboard sleigh bell. You need
No, I'm going to Amazon one right now.
Amazon sleigh
And
bells.
then I'm going to like just have it next to me during Christmas, like
And
episodes.
Yeah.
That's a good sleigh bell impression.
Yeah.
That was the best one yet.
All right. Okay. Could put that one in the old resume.
Well, I got one for you.
Okay.
Okay, we're going down the list.
Yeah.
Sitting here with the list. And you got being in a relationship with a literal kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
Now, may I say, this is literally the oldest thing on the list.
It's one of the first things we put on there.
It is the first thing
It is the
on
first
the list.
thing. Yeah, so I don't know if this is common for folk, but I was in my teen years, right out of high school, got in a serious relationship with this girl. She was really interesting. But she had a habit. We would go to the mall every Saturday. Just go to the mall, hang out. That's what we did. And we'd come home. She'd want to leave. We should go a couple stores, and then we'd leave. Okay, no big deal. And then I started noticing she had like nicer clothes on. Like, that's weird. And then I would notice she started having holes in the side of her shirts.
That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? You ripped your shirt? She goes, oh, yeah, I guess I did. And then I caught her at the mall once, like, stealing shit. Like, she wanted me to come in the dressing room and, like, see how something fit.
When did it occur to you? Like, give me the moment that it occurred to you that she was actually stealing this shit.
I had an idea, but I caught her, like, she was in action. Like, she tried it on. I was like, yeah, it looks great. And she goes, okay, cool. And takes it off and then, like, folds it up, like cuts the tag off of the thing. And she had another shirt, like, exactly behind it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's, like, advanced.
Yeah. She broke the hanger in half, put the hanger in her purse, and then just gave the girl the other. She was like, it didn't work out.
So she didn't leave any evidence.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I'm not going to name any names.
No, I know who it is, so
she
we don't
did-
need to name a
She
name.
did it all the time. And it got to the point where she would steal me stuff.
Oh, so you reaped the benefit, huh?
Yeah, I guess. It was weird. And then but then, the further you go in the relationship, if they do stuff like that, then there's other things behind that mask. And she's actually a crazy person.
Right.
So, what I should have just left was when I saw that and was like, oh, you're probably crazy. And just left then.
I know a lady, I won't name a name either, but I know a lady who steals a little every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like cheese. It's like a tiny cheese wedge from like Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Or like the other biggie, and I saw this in Walmart, like a spice.
Yeah.
Like one of those little spices. No,
Yeah.
I know that doesn't make it any better that it's just a little spice.
Yeah.
But just sneak one of those up the sleeve every now and then.
Have you ever accidentally stolen something?
I've done the thing where you like walk out with something in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
like out of a convenience store or something maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never accidentally stolen anything big. If I was ever to steal anything, it was like definitely on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking steal that
taking
shit.
that
Yeah, I didn't
shit.
accidentally.
Yeah. I had a watch. Actually, I had the watch you're wearing.
Did you steal this from me?
No, I went to a store with my father. I was hanging out. I was super stoned. And
Stoned with dad.
I was like, I want to get a new watch. I'm looking at him and like I'm trying to pull one off. I try it on. I'm like, that's awesome. And then I hear my dad yelling at me from across the store, like, hey, come check out this mower or something like that. I'm like, oh, cool. So I ran over there and talked to him for a bit. And we walk around looking at shit. And I just totally forget. I stand in line with my dad while he checks out.
Well, that's easy. That's just too easy.
With the watch still on. And I get in the car. And it wasn't until I said bye to him and back in my car where I put my hand on the steering. I'm like, oh, shit.
Did you? Oh, shit. Free watch.
Pretty much.
I mean, you didn't steal it.
I didn't mean
technically.
to,
Well, you
no.
didn't steal it. You just, there was a glitch in the matrix, and now you got a free watch.
Yeah.
So I like to tell myself that too every time I steal. Like whoopsie.
Bit.
No, I don't steal. I don't really steal. I
No,
don't
there's-
really steal.
I don't really, but yeah, no, I guess not. I'm trying to think of a cheap way that people would steal, i.e. stealing stuff from like a toilet paper roll from work or something.
Right. That's not. I mean, not that I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Wink. But I would never like really steal.
Sure.
Just like kind of like a little like skim a roll of paper towels off the top.
Sure.
Or like, take a few extra napkins at McDonald's because I'm going to throw those in my glove box so I can blow my nose into them.
Or,
later.
the classic stealing pens from work thing. Is it really stealing if you just, I need to use this real quick, and you use it and you forget?
Let's quantify the steal. Is it stealing if you go to the bank and there's a nice pen in the little drive-through thunk tube
Yeah,
thing?
but they're also fucking you with like annual fees if you get those or what. You know what I mean? Like
my bank does it.
my bank doesn't.
So we're stealing. We're
We're
pens.
just stealing.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they started putting on those dog tag chains.
Dog tag chains.
Like they would
the ball chains.
Yeah, the ball chains. They'd have them up there and like you fill out your deposit slip and then you just leave it laying down with no cap so it just dries out.
And it's always like hanging off the edge.
Just hanging off the edge.
Swinging, getting like batted around by a child.
Just like a cat. Just a cat child just batting it around with just, I hate that shit.
I licked my butthole today. That was going back. That was
the
what
best
the
one.
Danzig thing was based on.
Cat zig.
Yeah, one of me and Erica's cats jumped up into your lap,
Mm-hmm.
and we said Katzig for some reason, and hence
I got something to say. I lick my butthole today. That's just that one little thing is all you need, and then you'll just take it with you.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to sing.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
boy, we're just going down this list. I got to
Just
tell you,
knock them right out. We've already gone to a few of these. We
All
need
right.
to take them out.
I'm going next.
Okay.
Sad underage drinking hot damn with choir, and getting 12 people drunk off one small bottle.
That's the third one on the list. So we're just going to go to the ones that I put on here. Okay. I don't know. I'd never really drank a lot. I have a lot of younger friends who talk about like, got fucked up in high school all the time. I never really did. It was rare occasions, maybe once every 6 months. Someone's parents would go out of town. You'd hang out, have somebody buy you booze, and it's one bottle. It's not like, you go to a party now, there's like a couple bottles of whiskey, a couple bottles of,
Yeah.
if it's a party, the things are out.
Yeah. Like just bottles.
No,
I mean, like
it's
beers.
just like 12 nerdy choir kids and band kids just hanging out, watching Monty Python, drinking Hot Damn and a bottle of vodka, Sobieski bottle, or not even Sobieski, it's like, it wasn't Svedka, it was like a shitty McCormick-esque vodka that someone charged us $20 for. But that's the, it's the markup. It's the I'm doing something totally legal markup.
Like that dude kind of stole your money.
He kind of stole my money, but he also kind of could have went to jail.
Sure.
If he was busted. But no, just...
He was providing a service.
Yeah.
He took a finder's fee.
Took a finder's fee. You do that sometimes.
Sure.
I've never purchased alcohol for underage kids.
Never been asked.
Never been
Hey,
not
message all the children out there. Ask Robby Ray to buy you some beer.
Why can't I buy? Do I look not cool?
We don't look old enough.
We don't.
That's what it is. I still get ID'd, man.
Yeah.
I was about to say bless the Lord.
Blessed be thy name.
Bless you, Jesus, for making me look young.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, and they ask you your age, and you go, 34. You gotta tell them, like, do the math. Yeah, I'm old.
I like to say the kids still got it.
Kids
and
still
then
got
I wink and I snap. And
And
I
they
point.
go, we're just going to keep this, sir.
Yeah, you're clearly drunk.
We're calling the cops.
Dude,
Lock the doors.
I remember going back to that, though, that like the first couple times I ever drank.
Mhm.
And I had kind of the same experience. I was friends with a set of brothers who were a year apart, and they lived right down the street from me. I moved into that neighborhood when I was about 14,
Mhm.
15 maybe. So like I was like, that was a good age to meet some new friends. And,
Yeah.
and they had an older brother who is now a cop, which is funny. But he liked to booze it up. He liked to drink, you know, and go out and stuff. He was of age, of course. Well, he like gave us a bottle of tequila one night. And it was the first time I ever really got drunk. Like I had like drank a beer, like socially, like if a friend had one, or I would sip one and didn't like it,
Yeah. You'd hold it.
Yeah, you'd sit with it.
Mhm.
So this was like the first night I was like, man, you know what? I've never had tequila before. I'm in a safe space. I'm gonna get drunk. All right, it's gonna happen. And we got fucking hammered, like to the point of like I probably got poisoned.
Yeah, what's tequila? It's gonna.
Yeah, and I was
do
like 14 or 15. But back then, save from that night, like the other nights that kind of thing happened, like you didn't need much. So like 4 or 5 dudes could like drink, like could share a pint.
Yeah.
Like again, I know another friend who's like in the military now, and we would drink together. His mom would buy us like a pint.
Yeah.
And this didn't happen a lot. This happened like maybe twice.
Yeah. It never.
And we would like split the pint.
Mhm.
Like we'd split half the pint so we could save the other half for like the next weekend. And you'd take like sips and you'd be fucking drunk and like throwing up and having a good time.
Throwing up hard. Like I said, I never really drank. My first beer, I was in Arkansas, and it was a Busch Light, and I'll never drink Busch Light again. But I was like 16. And then after that, I didn't drink for a while because I was like, that tasted fucking terrible. I don't want it. And then, get up in the old high school years, and I'm punk rock. I want to be punk rock. What punk rockers drink? I guess
Busch Light.
No.
Oh, what?
It was the vodka thing. Like, I never drank beer in high school. It was only like that. And I think that really only happened like twice.
Wait, punks drink vodka?
No, they don't.
Okay, then
But
why
nerdy
did you...
choir kids drink. But
Okay.
that was my idea of like, yeah, let's party. That's punk, right?
There's nothing punk about vodka.
No, or fire or hot damn. Like there's nothing cool about either of those beverages.
No.
But yeah, it was one button. It got 12 people fucking shit faced to the point of throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be put in a bathtub by my friends, and it was all of like one Arnold Palmer or something, like a ice pick, like an iced tea and vodka. Had one of those and just blasted out.
You know what it sounds like to me? A fucking virgin party.
It was a virgin party.
It's like 4 dudes barely drunk, but like, hold me, I have to go into the
That's
bathtub.
all it was. There were girls there too. There were choir girls, but it was dudes' girlfriends, and they would like go get hand jobs or whatever. Yeah,
dude, I never went to a hand job party.
Well, we didn't do it. Everyone went to respective rooms.
I know, but still, I've never been to a party that they were giving hand jobs in rooms.
Just dealing out hand jobs.
Just find a room, go jerk someone off.
Find a room, go jerk someone off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
so maybe you guys were drunk.
I guess.
Or horny, or probably both.
Well,
hormones just raging, I'm sure.
Teenage years are the fucking worst. And I think we've talked about this before. We have friends with kids and friends with older kids. And I just think, man, you have a 13-year-old kid. I was already getting jerked off at 13.
Man.
I got my first hand job when I was 13.
I I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, his name was Steve. No, but
Her name was Steve.
Hey man, don't.
Yep, don't. Just don't.
Just don't do it.
Just don't.
But yeah, that was my dumb story about being a nerdy kid in high, like, and not thinking anything of it. Like, we thought it was like, we're fun, party. But dude, that is total virgin in comparison to stories I've heard from friends. Like,
totally.
Dude, we used to do, we'd get lines of cocaine.
Yeah.
Like, how are you? I was like 14. Like, fuck you.
The classic I hear all the time is, oh yeah, man, we used to do acid like every weekend.
Right?
It's like, whoa. Like,
one, where are you getting acid? Two,
every weekend?
did you graduate high school? Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, I probably did acid like 50 times. It's like, really, dude? And hey, that's cool.
Sure.
But I'm fucking nuts and I've never done acid. So if I did it 50 times or more, maybe I'd be normal or I'd just be even worse.
Just would have straightened you out, man.
Dude, last thing I'll say about the sharing the drink, sharing the liquor. Man, the first time I ever got like real drunk, like properly drunk, it was July 4th. Stop me if you heard this, but July 4th, I knew a girl that lived in my neighborhood and she had like some of her girlfriends over and like me and the neighborhood guys went over there and like we hung out because her mom was out of town, kind of like latchkey kids, you know, and we had a bottle of Crown Royal and it wasn't a huge bottle, but it wasn't the tiny bottle.
Yeah, it was like a 750 or a liter or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably 750, I'm guessing. And we like drank some of that with like cans of Pepsi and this girl I liked was there and I had this huge crush on her. Like we would always go watch MTV at their house after school.
Cool.
And like the girl in the neighborhood girl would invite this friend over that I just really like. I just thought she was like so cute and like she was kind of like out of my league. Like she was kind of a preppy and
she was a little
punk.
too pretty.
Yeah. Like wow, like she's never gonna give me the time of day.
Did she know it though?
No, she was actually really nice, but she was one of those girls that always had like the older boyfriend that she was on the phone with all the time. Like, this predates like texting.
Yeah.
So like she'd be on like the phone at
the landline,
the neighborhood girl's house talking to her, 23-year-old boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So bad news all around. It's intimidating dudes. Like
sure.
I kept my distance even though I thought she was a cutie pie. So fast forward to the July 4th and like, I get a little of that liquid courage going and like, we like end up like holding hands and like kissing. It was way before I was getting jerked off, obviously, but it was very like sweet, but like, the hormones were raging and that was like the first time. And that was just like when I think of this podcast and like the theory behind boys, like that moment right there to me, like defined, it was like achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
Like a milestone, you know? So that was cool. But again, we shared one bottle of fucking Crown Royal between like 10 people.
And there's probably some left.
It's probably still in that mom's cabinet.
Probably still in her cabinet. Mom. So we talked about I licked my butthole today. On the list here, we have butthole bands. Would you like to do butthole bands? Or do you want to save that?
Well, it's just, I'll tell you. So Matt and Colin and I started this inside joke a while back and... Were you in on that from the beginning? Because I know you know about it, but you weren't in on it from the beginning.
I don't know.
Because this goes back like many years.
It sounds very... When you brought it up on that road trip, it's like, that sounds so fucking familiar.
Yeah. Well, it's a simple game.
Yeah.
Well, let me just remind you of the rules in case you forgot. You take a band name and you put the word butthole in it. So I'll give you a couple of the classics, okay? This goes back to the Matt and Colin days. There was 9 Inch Butthole.
It's a good one.
Like that's a great one.
Yeah.
The Flaming Buttholes was another good one, a local take. And yeah, you just do that. You just something butthole.
Fine Young Buttholes.
Perfect example.
Great one.
And you can like switch it around. So like with that band, for example, you could be like the Fine Butthole Cannibals, and that's fun.
Yeah.
So any way you slice it,
or dice it,
and that's really it. I mean, that's butthole bands. But I implore you, if you're listening to this, somebody out there, email us your favorite butthole band and we'll read it on the air. My promise to you. And
you're probably going to find yourself doing that, driving around and just a band name will pop in your head.
It's fun. There's like so many. Okay, I got one. This is kind of relevant, but one of the new classics is My Bloody Butthole. And that's just like amazing.
It's a good one.
There's so many.
There are some Smashing Buttholes.
Smashing Buttholes.
butthole pumpkins. That doesn't really work.
Yeah, but you got to try it. You always got to flip it back and forth.
Flip it back and forth.
Yeah.
Fountains of buttholes.
Perfect. Buttholes of Wayne.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
It does sound pretty horrible.
I've never met a guy named Wayne that I'd want to see his butthole.
No, that's
Oddly
very
enough.
true.
Oddly enough.
But that's also true. All right. Well, let's see here.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. Put down the list, dude. Let's just rap.
You just want to rap?
I'm just flipping my chair around backwards.
Like hip hop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
oh.
no, like AC Slater. Like, oh, let's talk. Let's
like
talk.
youth minister? You want to get real with me? Like,
I do.
Okay.
I want to know what's going on in your life right now.
So many things. It kind of feels overwhelming, actually. Moving from my house that I've been in for 5 years to a new house, which is an upgrade. It's a blessing. It's going to be great. However, I don't want to say stress, just the weight of I have to move everything out of my house and into another house. Switching everything of like the adulting of like, I got to contact my credit card company. I got to contact all these bills. Got to get them moved over there. I got to contact anything I got to contact my bank. Everything's got to be done. Get another driver's license. It's ridiculous.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, but it's something you just got to do. I can't stay in that house forever.
Yeah, totally.
Got to get out. Got to move. Got to keep moving.
You know what feels really good?
What's that?
About moving is you move into a brand new clean house. And I don't mean brand new house. I mean just like it's freshly cleaned.
It's yours.
It's new to you.
Yes.
And so your house looks really nice for the first like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then the dust starts settling.
Mm-hmm.
The stains start happening.
Yep. Especially with pets.
Holes in the wall start happening. I drink a little too much, and the next morning I know there's a head-shaped hole in the wall.
Right.
All this weird stuff happens. And you don't have to really clean the house you leave. Like, you have to clean it. It has to be presentable, but it ain't as clean as that house you're moving into.
No.
Like, when we got this place, all the carpet was brand new. Walls were completely freshly painted. There wasn't a speck of dust on any of the fixtures. It was perfect. And now it's home. It's different.
But it's yours.
It's cool.
You know, like that's your dust.
Yeah, I'm not breathing somebody else's dust.
It's your dust.
I'm not breathing apartment dust.
Right.
Which, I mean, sometimes I miss apartment living.
Oh, yeah.
Or like renting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that might make me sound crazy, but like, I never really minded living in an apartment.
Yeah, I've never, like, Di and I go back and forth on it. I really liked, if you had a cool roommate or cool, like, people that lived in your same, like, you had a quadplex or something, it's fine. But it's just those paper thin fucking walls. And with having pets, like, it's another, like, nuisance of having, I got to take them out, walk them downstairs, walk them over to where the dog park thing is, if there is one. If not, I got to find a patch of grass, let them shit and piss on.
Then you got to pick it up.
You got to pick it up.
Like a beast, picking up fresh
I'm picking
dog
up my
shit.
dog shit's what my backyard's for.
Yeah.
Just stay out there.
Just leave it on God's green earth. It's fine.
Well, hey, if God wanted my dog to shit, he wants him to shit naturally. And far be it from me to get between my God and my dog. See what I did there?
I did.
Yeah.
Just be the O in the middle. Yeah. What's the hardest part of moving? What would you say?
Man, I think it's not the physical act of getting everything packed up and moved. That's actually, I'm not gonna say fun, but it's interesting. You get to like clean, like declutter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need that. I haven't seen that shit in 5 years. Let's just get the fuck rid of it. I think the hardest part is going through and getting everything changed over. Because the paperwork sucks.
Yeah. The downsizing and cleaning, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Because I love downsizing. That's
and also,
just what I do.
And also getting to a new place and then having a whole new canvas to like decorate on. Like, we have all these things we couldn't put up because there wasn't enough room. Now we can put all this stuff on the wall we wanted to do.
And you can paint.
Paint it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Maybe go to Target and buy a lamp.
Buy a new floor lamp.
Or a fixture.
Go
to Ross Dress for Less.
And
buy a ill-fitting suit.
Oh,
buy a real Steve Harvey.
Buy a pair of shoes that are 2 different sizes.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of Ross and stealing, anytime I try on clothes at Ross, you go into the dressing room.
Oh, yeah.
It's just littered with tags.
Yeah.
Like, so many people steal from there.
Yeah.
They have like a loss prevention.
They
like
have a security officer at the front. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
he's got a security vest.
He's not a cop. He's like a dude in a black vest.
He's making $10 an hour.
To stand there and play Candy Crush and let people steal.
Dude.
I wonder if those guys like, like have a quota, like you got to catch 3 people stealing from the women's section. Got to catch that kid accidentally stealing that watch. Or you're fired.
Maybe there might be a loss. I know Walmart does. I had a friend who worked security there. They take
Walmart?
They take that shit super seriously.
Really?
Their security guys are plainclothes security.
Just trying to blend in.
Easiest way to catch a thief.
God, that reminds me. One time we had this fucking this dude had this meltdown at Walmart. I was there with him.
You don't say.
Yeah. It was, so I used to hang out with this dude that did tattoos in Oklahoma like years ago. Got a couple from him, so do you.
Sure.
And he was kind of a real spur of the moment, kind of erratic dude. Like if he had an idea for something at 2 a.m, he would like do it.
Yeah.
So like one night I was over there just like hanging out, and he was done working for the day or whatever. And he's like, I need a new computer desk. So he's like, let's go to Walmart right now. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. It's 24 hours. We'll go get a desk. It was one of those deals where you like, back then you could like just carry the desk to the front. You didn't have to get like a tag or a card or anything. So he had it on like this big, like flat dolly type deal. So we take it to the front. He pays for it in cash. And walking out, he gets stopped by the door guy. Like, can I check your receipt? And what do you do in that situation? You hand the dude your receipt. You kind of, okay, whatever, here. And then you go along your merry way. This dude, we'll call him, let's call him Oscar. Okay, Oscar the tattoo artist. Oscar was like, man, fuck you. I ain't showing you my fucking receipt. I just bought this with cash. He just didn't, like he didn't want to have to prove that he bought this. Like,
well, I mean,
I get where he's coming from, but he
stand your
threw
ground.
A fit.
Yeah, pick your battles.
Well, speaking of stand your ground, the old gentleman that was running the door, he like, no, sir, I can't let you leave until I see the receipt. He was doing his job. And that just sent Oscar into oblivion. Fuck you. I'm never coming here again. Let me speak to your manager. Just fucking flipped his fucking lid.
Yeah.
And
I'm just like red-faced embarrassed.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I didn't want to be, first of all, I didn't even want to be there. Second of all, this is happening. It's so embarrassing. And like, far be it from me to like try to talk Oscar down.
Well, no. He'll rip that shirt off and punch you in the face.
Yeah, I was just like a dorky kid. I was like, I'm not going to intervene here, try to diffuse the situation.
Right.
It was terrible. Very scary, though. Mm-hmm. So finally, he showed him the receipt, and of course, like, cussed him on the way out and stuff. And I was just like, man, I was like, hey, fuck Walmart. Fuck going. Who would, first of all, you're buying a desk at 2 a.m.
At Walmart.
There might be a chance you're like weird and trying to steal it. You know what I'm saying? That's not a little steal. That's a big steal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I need a desk. You know what? I'm going to remind myself tomorrow. I'm going to go to Walmart tomorrow and get a desk. That's what a normal person would do.
Yeah. I'll pick one up tomorrow on the way home from work, or, you know, tomorrow's Saturday. I'll go get a desk first thing in the morning. I'll go get a desk at 8 a.m.
But 2 a.m., anybody who's shopping in Walmart at 2 a.m. that's not buying stoner food is someone to be looked at. I think so.
Dude, Walmart or any place. I mean, I'm a Walmart boy. You know, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
He, you know, Mr. Walmart boy, like he knows when somebody's up to no good in Walmart. Mm-hmm. You know when someone's there like to get their groceries, and you know you go late at night, might be very late at night.
Sure.
And you know someone is there to like steal some shit, to buy some weird things that they wouldn't buy during the day.
Yes.
Maybe under the influence, under a substance perhaps, or a combination of substances. So I know.
I bet they sell a lot of Robitussin and DM there at 2 a.m.
Yeah, probably like Sudafed or whatever. What do they use to make meth?
Yeah, Sudafed, I think. I think they still sell. Did you ever Robo Trip? Speaking of doing dumb virgin shit in high school, you drink a bottle of Robitussin DM.
That's Robo tripping, right?
Yeah, and you get fucked up.
I've never done it, but I remember hearing that term so often.
And that's what all the hip hop dudes were doing there for a while. Is they called it syrup.
But that's like cough syrup with codeine in it. And that's what I got when I had that fucking sinus infection a couple weeks ago.
Is that a crazy time?
It's you just drink your medicine as prescribed. Hey,
just doing it as prescribed.
I did. I took it every 4 hours until it was gone. I took it as prescribed, you know?
I think it's every 4 hours if symptoms persist.
Yeah, or I think it's a couple of little words called as needed.
As needed.
But I needed it. I was coughing. I was hurting, Josh.
Oh, I bet you were.
I was. And boy, those movies weren't going to watch themselves.
They weren't. And that warm blanket feeling of codeine just...
Man, just let's do some like ASMR. The warm coating warmth of codeine.
It's a very inviting, very warm, very soothing experience.
It's like slipping a warm glove on your entire body, one limb at a time. I wish I could do like a pill bottle shake. That'd be perfect. Have you heard of that stuff like the ASMR? I believe I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, the audio sensory, like it's supposed to like make you like not come, but you know what I mean? Like it's just like
arouse you.
Yeah.
Like mentally, physically, whatever.
Yeah.
Old Jake can like, he's like perceptive of that. So like he would send me these videos of like this woman like, and it wasn't sexual. It was weird. She would like take a hairbrush and like rub it on the microphone or like flick the bristles, like where it's like going, you know what I mean? Or like, it was just the voice. It was the frequency of the voice.
Well, some people even like this.
Yeah. But that sounds kind of nice in my headphones. Kind of sounds like a thunderstorm rolling in.
That is my favorite fucking sound in the
thunderstorm rolling in?
You have no fucking idea. When it's nighttime and a thunderstorm's coming, I get fucking so happy. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep like a champ.
Yeah. I don't wake up to that shit.
No.
Erica always does, and I'm like, fucking slept right through it. I downed half a bottle of syrup before I went to bed, as needed. It's mine now. I can do whatever I want with it.
My fucking name is on it.
This is legit. I could walk down the street like waving this fucking tussin back and forth. I really didn't do that. I didn't leave the fucking living room. Luckily, it was a weekend. I was sick.
Okay.
I was hurting.
I believe you. You don't have to... Jesus.
Okay.
I'm not coming down on you, man.
Can I get a refill? I knew a girl who would get that cough syrup.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she'd kind of have this regimen. She'd get it like 4 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
But she'd get a big bottle. I've never seen like the bottle I got was like, it would get like 4 virgins drunk in high school. Hers was like the fucking handle of it.
Yeah. That will kill a man if you drink it.
And she'd share it.
Well, that's
if you wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had family members who would get that kind of shit and it was unlimited refills. And it was just you.
Unlimited refills. It's like the Sonic of scissor or whatever they call it.
Oh, you think not? That was very true.
Really?
It was unlimited refill.
Jeez.
So you'd keep going to the fucking pharmacy. Just thanks for the Percocets. Gonna go. My back hurts.
Yeah, I'm in pain, doctor.
Yeah, and you know what that Percocet's doing? It's not helping your pain. It's just making you forget about the pain that's still there, and your back's just getting worse.
Well, yeah, but when you're addicted to one of those substances, you know that. And you know why you're taking that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that there's not a such thing as pain management or people that need certain things.
Sure.
But like somebody who's like hardcore addicted to like any opioid, they know exactly why they're taking it. They might tell you and tell themselves that,
like
my back hurts. I'm a sick person.
Yeah. It's the same thing as the person who on Friday after work goes, man, that was a long week. I need a beer.
Yeah. I never need a beer.
No.
And I drink a lot, but I
By
never
the way,
need
anthembrewing.com.
Oh, when you need a beer.
When you need a beer.
I like that.
When you don't truly need a beer.
Okay. Here we go. This is Robby Ray from Robby Ray and the Little Bitty Boys. And when I don't need I fucked it up.
Take 2.
This is Robby Ray from Robby Ray and the Little Bitty Boys. I don't often need a beer, but when I need a beer, I need an Anthem beer.
Fuck yeah.
Christmas music come in. It's a holiday commercial.
Ooh, okay, so Anthem, if you're listening, boys beer.
Oh man.
Christmas. Like a Christmas lager or something.
Yeah, some sort of like like a cranberry, turkey, ham, egg. I don't know what else is in what's a Christmas flavor that you could put in a beer?
What's that cinnamon? You don't want cinnamon in a beer.
No, you don't want a cinnamon beer.
What about like a stout? Like a
piney taste, like you're drinking a Christmas tree.
Yeah. So
Boys,
like a hoppy.
I've tasted a beer that kind of tastes like a Christmas tree.
Christmas
before.
hops.
Is it? There you go.
Christmas hops.
With the boys. Boys beer, Christmas hops, Christmas adjustment.
Christmas adjustment.
That's man, what a tie-in, dude. We're trumping this shit. We're creating the umbrella, the boys' umbrella.
The boys' umbrella.
We got a Christmas album. We've got a beer. We've got a studio. We've got we've got it all.
That's another thing too. Adding to my weight of stuff is not only moving my home to another home, but moving the studio to another home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
So
biggie.
it's split moves, and then I got my anniversary coming up, so there's that too.
Traveling.
Yeah, just man.
Where you going?
Shit, Galveston.
Tight.
Maybe.
We've
We've had this idea. We can just easily cancel the Airbnb. It's still a week or two out. You know, we got a lot going on this month. Why not let's just do it another time. Let's have a nice anniversary dinner and have a night out, you know, maybe get each other something and then use the rest of this month to go, move everything. And then maybe in November, we can do a little road trip, go somewhere, you know?
Somewhere nice. Somewhere a little more planned out.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, every time like it's time to like try to plan a vacation, dude, I always think of an excuse like to put it off. Like we've been talking about going to Mexico for like fucking years now. And man, I just need to bite the bullet and do it. And it's not that like I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's just something always quote unquote comes up.
Well, the thing is, that's a big trip too. Especially if you've never been out of the country. It's like, I'm going to go to Mexico. I got to get my passports. I got to make sure all that shit's in check. Getting on a plane and going to Mexico. I've never gone through customs or anything. I don't know what that's like.
I'm sure it's not too bad.
The experience.
People do it every day.
I'm sure. Yeah, but I don't know.
So yeah.
That's my thing keeping me from going to Europe is like, man, that's a fucking really long plane ride.
Over the water. That's
over
what's
the
scary.
Fucking water.
Yeah, like if you crash, you're dead. You're dead meat.
I always tell myself like,
wet meat.
I love flying. I'm not afraid of flying. But every time I get on the plane, I get that, you kind of do that. All right, seat.
Yep. Dude.
Get me there.
I haven't flown a lot, but I've been on an airplane several times in my life. And every time it's the same thing. I'm like, I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. Beer? Could I have a beer, please? Beer. And drink as much as possible, basically until I pass out. Because I'm scared. You're traveling in a fucking biscuit can through space. Yeah. Like, that's fucking scary, dude.
It's a very heavy... I've said this several times. How much does a plane weigh? Let's just say a bunch of tons.
Tons, yeah.
Tons,
yeah.
Tons.
Thousands of pounds.
And it's just floating in the air. I know there's science behind it, but I don't trust it.
I trust it. I don't know if I trust the people that put the plane together.
Yeah. Or
like the man who's creating the wind.
A dude is getting paid $12 an hour to just go through and be like, I guess I'll put the gas in there for you. Or I'm going to inspect. They're probably getting paid more than that.
They gotta be, dude.
But
they got the whole...
Have you ever looked out the window and just seen the kind of dipshits that are down there doing it?
Well-paid dipshits.
I know.
Maybe they've like cashed it in. They're like, I got a dream job. I can just let myself go. Shave. Like they look like Tom Hanks in fucking Castaway.
Yeah.
Just like wrangling luggage.
With orange vests.
Yeah.
Just throwing your goddamn bag from one thing to another.
Do they wear miners' caps?
Miners' caps?
Like, do they wear hard hats? I think
professional
professional luggage handlers. What are they called?
Miners.
Like with the light on the front. I don't know. I imagine
I think some of them do. Like the actual mechanics who work on it, they probably do.
Talking about luggage boys.
Oh, luggage boys just wear those fucking noise canceling headphones.
Oh, that's right.
And jumpsuits.
So do the dudes that flash the two tiny lightsabers, like
the tiny lightsabers,
the sigh of the lightsaber world, and they direct the plane. Do guys still do that, or is it all computer now?
There's got to be a dude to direct you out.
It's got to be computer now. It's like
so?
GPS. There's got to be a. Do you think there's GPS in airplanes?
Yeah, they have Waze. Every American Airlines pulls up Waze, and it's like, all right, Waze is getting me there.
But dude, what a great idea for the people who invented Waze for airplanes. It's always a straight line.
True.
It's not like, okay, go down to Texas and take a left. This is the quickest route. No, you just take off and you go straight there and then you land. You don't like turn a lot.
Well,
do airplanes turn?
They do. They have to, right?
They pivot. They got to pivot. What's it called? The yaw?
Well, you got to, okay, say you're going from, welcome to fucking Airways. I like that. So say you're leaving from like Memphis, Tennessee. You're going to New York.
Okay, you're going to up and straight there.
You know, you got to go up and then do a curve. Depending on how the wind's blowing, weather patterns, you got to take all that into account.
You know that classic thing where like you see a map of the world and you see all the flights going, like in like a sci-fi movie,
and you just
or
assume
something.
they're going in that direction.
Well, they're always curved. If you think about it, they're always like you see that map unfold as somebody's explaining something to like an old president, and you see that they're never a straight line. They're always like curved.
Well, yeah, you got to go up and over and then back down.
You got to keep in mind the curvature of the Earth.
Well, that's if you believe in that theory.
I mean, I do. I mean, like newly. It's a new thing, but I'm trying to come to terms with it.
Yeah.
But
well, everybody knows the Earth is flat.
why would anybody ever think that?
You get told something, some hip hop or a celebrity, somebody comes out and says,
Wait, a hip hop artist told you the world was flat and you believed it?
Some people do. Who's that hip hop artist that like is screaming the world's flat?
Wait.
It's like, yeah, man.
That's not just like slang for something?
No, there's a hip hop artist
That believes it.
He believes the world is flat. He's a flat earther.
Who?
I'll Google it.
Look it up. I'm really curious.
There's people screaming right now. It's Fat Joe the Gangster. It's not Fat Joe the Gangster.
No.
All Google is Fat Joe.
Well, I mean, can you guess? Like, can you remember who it is? Were they super famous, or were they
apparently they are. I'm old now, dated. B.O.B.
B.O.B.?
Mm-hmm.
Who's B.O.B.? Bob the rapper?
It's B period, little O period, big B period.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, B.O.B. thinks the Earth is flat, and he's got photos to prove it. CNN.com.
Dude, that's weird. I guess if you were like back in the super olden days, and I don't mean like the 50s, and I don't mean like the 1920s.
You're talking like Copernicus. You're talking like...
I'm talking like togas, like...
Yeah.
Haven't even figured out pants yet, just like a sheet and some leaves, and that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
I could maybe understand them thinking the world is flat, like before math and science and things like that.
Think about pre-boats. You're born on this country, you don't even know it's a fucking continent. And then you see water and you go, I must journey.
Yeah, I got to see what's on the other side.
And you journey. And then you hit land and you go, this is now our land. And then you see new people, you go, fuck, there's other people.
Dude.
Mind blown.
And they're different. Their skin is different. They speak differently.
So we got to kill them and then use them for slavery.
Yeah, we have to rape them, kill them, and steal their things.
Yeah.
Big steal.
That's fear. Like that's the thing. It's kind of what's created civilization as we know it is fear.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, but think about this. Mm-hmm. Think about before boats. Think about before the wheel. Okay, like, wow, I can go further than I used to. Okay, so like you used to you could only go as far as your feet would take you, or I guess a horse.
Well, but they would also. I'm assuming they would just have traditions passed down, like don't go past a certain point because that's where the boogeyman lives. There's some monster in the woods or whatever to keep people from leaving the village. I mean, maybe.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Or is that just
here.
the premise to the movie The Village?
No, I think you're actually. Why do you have the script of The Village?
I'm a big Shyamalan fan.
I'm just catching up on my Shyamalan.
I don't watch the movies. I just read the script.
Yeah, I'm a reader. Who's your favorite author?
M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, I love him. I love his scripts. Anyways, so did the horse came before the wheel, right? Like people rode horses before they invented the wheel, right?
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, you see the caveman making the wheel out of stone.
Sure.
Where the fuck's the horse? You don't ever see a caveman on a horse, dude. Name a fucking caveman that's ever ridden a horse.
Well, I think horses were bred for that purpose, right?
To ride? Or just to eat? Because I would imagine we ate them before we rode them. Like, I'm sure a caveman came across a dead horse and decided to cook its flesh and eat it before he tamed the first horse and rode the horse. Well,
I think horses came from, like, Spain, right?
They did. That's true.
And they were brought over here by Columbus.
Okay. Columbo
came and he brought horses with him.
Was that your Columbo?
Yeah, is that what he sounds like?
No, that was a shitty Columbo.
What does Columbo sound like? That's not Columbo.
No.
What does he sound like?
That's a good voice. It's a good character voice, but not Columbo. That was Columbus.
I thought Columbo was just one more thing. That's not him?
Maybe so. Maybe I'm getting my Columbos mixed up.
Somebody tell me if my Columbo is horrible.
Dude, what if, like, you want to hear my Christopher Columbus?
Sure.
Hey, see, I'm going to go across the big river and see what's on the other side.
That's your Christopher Columbus?
That's kind of
sure. I'm
a
sure.
little off.
Yeah, what a Spanish guy would sound like.
That's fun doing a impression of somebody.
Well, that's the thing with the movie Lincoln. No one knows what Abraham Lincoln sounds like. There was no recording. So.
I do. He's like 407 days ago.
That's what everybody says, but it's been written that his voice is actually high. So his voice was probably a little more 7 years ago. Hi, Mom.
Dude, cue the Taylor Vincent Mickey Mouse voice. That would have been perfect. Where you at, Taylor? Big Tay, come over.
He does have a good Mickey Mouse.
A great Mickey Mouse. See, we need people that are shittier than we are at impressions, not better. It's the key.
Yeah, we can't have good impressions on.
Mm-hmm. Gotta make a good first impression.
Bad impressions.
We do those. We do those. We're great at those.
Embrace bad impressions.
So yeah, I wondered that. Like, never saw a caveman on a horse. The caveman invented the wheel. There is something's mixed up here.
Well, I think horses didn't come. They weren't around when the caveman time. If you believe in that myth of cavemen.
Do you ever see a caveman on, let's say, like a giant turtle?
You know, that's a good question.
A large dog. Like, do you ever see a caveman riding a wolf?
So, Rob, you're an artist. Draw it.
Dude.
I bet a caveman rode a fucking wolf.
Do you think a caveman ever grabbed the back of a dolphin's flipper and like rode it around like at SeaWorld?
Do you think a caveman ever surfed?
Dude, a surfing caveman?
Surfing caveman.
Yeah. Dude, oh man, that reminds me of Captain Caveman.
Oh, Captain Caveman, yeah.
Now, I'm going to make sure I got my cavemen straight here. But he was like just the big, hairy, like, was Captain Caveman completely hair?
Yeah, giant club, and he had the leopard print thing with the...
but he was like all hair. Or is that a different caveman?
That's Captain Caveman.
Okay, I got to look that up.
Look up, I have a Captain Caveman action figure.
And he kind of looks like a turd with arms and legs sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally it. Captain Caveman. Okay, there's not that many.
He's a Hanna-Barbera, right?
I believe so. Did he... Oh, hold on. He not only invented the wheel, but he had one of those wacky racers. He had one of those fucking muscle cars or whatever, the dragster.
He made it.
Dude, that show always like freaked me out when I was a kid.
Really?
What was it called? The Hanna-Barbera Wacky Racers? Where they all drove like hot rods?
Oh, yeah. It was Mario Kart before Mario Kart.
Kinda, yeah. But they were like these like Rat Fink inspired. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Captain Caveman is totally the completely hairy guy. You called it.
He's a turd. Good. He's an almond. He's an almond with a bat.
He's an avocado pit. Dude, no, that does look like an almond. That's perfect. Almond is perfect. Other than Captain Caveman, what are some other cavemen?
Hold on. My question is, when was he a general? Was he ever General Caveman?
Oh, good call.
You know, is he going to be Admiral Caveman?
Private Caveman?
Private Caveman.
Saving Private Butthole. Anyway, what's another classic caveman or
Encino Man? Link.
Dude, that's a good one. That is not where I was going next.
Okay, where were you going to go?
I was going with the safe bet, the Flintstones.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a given.
Well, were they cavemen? I have a theory, which has probably already been told. Jetsons and Flintstones, right? Same Hanna-Barbera thing. They did cross over at one time.
They were dead the whole time.
No, my theory is the Earth was fucking just destroyed, which is why the Jetsons live in the clouds. They live in the sky. And when they go outside, they have to have things on because the air is, and you can't breathe it.
Okay.
But the Flintstones are what's left over. They're the civilization that the survivors. So everything they have, that's why, like, why would they know what a fucking record player is?
Right.
But they've heard about it, so they use whatever animals they have at the time.
Like, to make a record player.
To make a record player. You know what I mean. But that from the fallout lives the Flintstones.
Okay, that's a good theory.
Yeah.
Did you see that episode of the Flintstones? It was like one of the early episodes where it showed Fred as a boy, like a young boy.
Mm-mm.
When he was young, the reason that, okay, like, you know how he and Barney are like kind of like short and stocky?
Yeah.
Like Barney's even more stocky.
Short, yeah.
But Fred, he had these like leg braces on when he was a kid. And that's why his legs aren't very long. And he made this friend down the rock. It was like down the rock hut. You know how the hut would repeat over and over again?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a little cave woman, and her dad would beat her. So they ran out into the cornfield once. And then later, he actually got her pregnant, and the baby was a real rockhead. But he realized that he was they kind of sat alike in front of the rock television. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, man.
I thought you were doing the Forrest Gump.
I was, but I did a shitty job. I did a shitty impression of myself. Oh, damn it.
I was waiting for you to say like Forrest Flintstone or something dumb shit like that.
Yeah, Forrest.
Fred.
Okay, There's got to be some more famous cavemen.
Famous cavemen. We got Link. We got Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble, Captain
Okay.
Caveman.
I got one.
Mm-hmm.
Unfrozen caveman lawyer.
Oh, he's my favorite.
Is that your favorite caveman?
Yeah, he used to be a caveman. Now he's a lawyer.
Classic.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm just a caveman. I'm not from your world. It frightens and scares me.
Okay, that was a legit good impression. Who knew your best impression would be a caveman? I've got one to add to the list.
What's
the
that?
Geico cavemen.
I was going to say that. Remember that terrible TV show they did?
No, because I never watched it.
Nick Kroll was one of the cavemen. I just found that out.
Gosh. There's got to be cavemen we're leaving out.
Oh, man, there's just so many cavemen.
There's really not. If you think about it, it's a genre that...
Was there not a caveman in a song? In a music video?
That Red Hot Chili Peppers video, they were kind of cavemen.
Oh, they were total cavemen.
Kinda,
Well, no, the
with
Weird
silver
Al
paint.
parody, the Fred Flintstone one, that was very cavemen.
Yeah, bringing it back. There's really not a ton. I was trying to think of like a comic book character or a superhero that was a caveman. Like Krull? Was Krull a caveman? Was the Max a caveman? A cave creature?
The Max seems very kind of caveman-esque, but like demonized caveman.
Yeah, like a weird, like a crazy purple caveman. I don't know. Huh.
I'm just going to Google caveman comic, and that's it.
How about top 10 cavemen? I mean, we only named like 4.
BC!
Oh,
The comic strip.
classic.
Classic.
That is a classic caveman. Dang, that's probably about it though.
Yeah.
And I guess what, Josh?
What's that?
That's about it for us.
Is that it?
Dude, we crossed so many things off the list.
Do we took the pants off that list.
We did. We brushed our penis up against that steering wheel's
Oh!
list, and well, here goes another joke. I think it's time to end this.
Ringo Starr was a caveman in a movie.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I think that was a...
Ringo, taking it all back, put it in the right order.
I wonder if they put those credits in the right order.
You.
Anyways, thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye.